Howdy. Thought I'd shoot a little video on how bad it's getting in Canada. Times are getting tough under the Liberals. And I say the Liberals because Justin Trudeau's only one guy, and there's more of them at the top that are corrupt. They have no honor. So this is my land over here, and this is somebody else's land over here, and they hired a processor just to come in and cut some trees, right? And you can see those yellow flags I put up. That's the border line. I can easily find it and flagged it. I flagged it after he cut in here. He was using a big processor, and those machines, they have GPS right in them. If not, he has a handheld GPS with him probably also. I've worked in the woods for 15 years. I've used the GPSs. I know what's going on, who's who, what's what. I worked for just about every forestry company, major forestry companies in Nova Scotia. So I know these little tricks and stuff like that. So what he did here, right, he's cutting here, he cuts up to the line, right, and his GPS shows the line, right. So he doesn't necessarily go over the line with the machine, but he did here. You can see the tracks here and everything. But what they do is they'll reach their arm over, because they got a big long arm, fairly long, and they'll grab a tree on the other side. If it's worth money, they'll grab it. And usually they get away with it because, you know, it's usually Crown land, and people that look after Crown land, they don't walk the lines very often, right? If ever. So anyways, he saw some nice trees on my property and decided to get it, whether he thought it was Crown land or not, doesn't matter. I'm sure he's got all kinds of issues. Oh, my GPS was glitching. Oh, the satellite, lost satellite signal for a minute or so, whatever. So I was talking to the porter. The cutter, he was gone, but I talked to the porter, and he was a nice guy. He said, yeah, he's usually pretty good, so, you know, he's sticking up for him. But I'm going to show you what he does, how the cutter, how he knew. You can tell he knew, because he left these popples, right? He reached in around these popples to get those nice spruce. You see those spruce stumps? Right? You gotta head to head the spruce. Right? Oh yes, left these popples here. Reach around, get this nice spruce here, that spruce there. See? Look at that. And was come back on the line. More cutting along the line. And then he just saw a really nice spruce way in here, way past the line, right? Check this out. He just had to have that. That's a nice big spruce he took there. Semi-open country, so you know, yeah. You can see the popple next to it. Popple's pretty tall. You know how big this spruce was. Yeah, it was a nice tall spruce. Beautiful. He had to have that, didn't he? Huh? We're on to him, ain't we? Huh? You people see it. So he got that, and then he backed out. See, backed out, back on the line. See, he did it over there. He might have got one there underneath all that brush. I think there's one there. So you got that. And that's another thing they do. They'll hide the stuff, the stumps underneath the brush. Because that's what they do. Because times are, and nowadays times are tough. Alright. So anyways, his mistake is he did it to my land. And I'm a cutter. Pre-commercial thinner and a cutter. I've been doing it for 15 years in the forestry business, so I know what they do. You know, make a little extra dough, you know, grab this nice tree here and this tree, that tree. Anyways, I told the porter, I said, yeah, he went over the line a few times, cut some trees. And I said, who's he cutting for? Like, I know the guy who owns this land. I said, is that the guy who owns this land? Does he still own the land? Yup. Okay. You tell the owner of the land, too, that the cutter made a mistake and went over the line, and the owner of the land can come check the line, and he can confirm that what happened. So that was good, you know, and I was nice to the porter, because he didn't do it, you know, he's a nice guy, and we talked nice. If I was a cutter, I would have ragged him out. No question. But anyways, that was, I was done talking to the porter, and then following Saturday, got a knock on the door. The owner of the land showed up. Yeah, gee, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened up there, what's going on, I shouldn't have come up there, you know, I should have been in there watching, you know. I said, no, that's all right. It's only a couple trees. Like, I'm probably never get to them anyways. They probably just die and rot. And you guys, I told him, I told the porter, you guys can keep the trees and don't worry about it. It's something that's just, yeah. He said, oh, I'm honorable, and I don't like that at all. He says, years and years and years, and I reaching for his wallet. I said, no, man, I'm not taking your money. He started getting a little agitated. He didn't like that because he's an honorable man, and he's getting up there. He's an old feller and owns a lot of land around here. Owns a sawmill. So I said, "Well, are you still running that sawmill?" "Oh yeah, still running that sawmill there. Yeah." "Well, I'll tell you what. I'll come up and I need some boards. I'll come up and you give me a good deal on maybe some boards." "Oh yeah, that's a good idea, I'll do that." So there we go, we shook hands and that done. Right? But now let's get back to the young fella who was cutting here. You know, the young fella that should have showed up at my door and apologized for cutting my trees. You know, the young fella whose name I won't mention, Kyle Millett. Whoops, did that come out? Sorry, Kyle. Kyle should have showed up, and you know, I should have got some feedback from Kyle. Oh, GPS wasn't working or whatever your excuse was. I know all the excuses. I've been there, done that. Well, I don't do this. I don't take people's trees, but I know what goes on in the forestry business, right? So, but yeah, times are tough nowadays, especially in the forestry business in Canada. The Trudeau Liberals, I wouldn't say all Liberals, but the Trudeau Liberals they don't have much honor either, so things are getting bad. There's so many scandals in the Liberal Party, like they're just, ugh. So it kind of reflects on the people, you know, to be not so honorable and take what you can take and get what you can get, and yeah. So I'll tell you what, Kyle, this is on the video. I mean, if you want to keep going this way and running your business this way, you know what's going to happen to your business if people keep doing videos on some of the stuff that you do. So, you know, your business is not going to do so good after a while. There's just people going to be looking at you sideways and don't trust you and whatnot. So, sorry, buddy. You should have came to my door. Anyways, I think that's enough ranting on this tree cutter guy. Oh, and the one thing that pisses me off more than this is he started cutting around the first day of hunting season, right? Oh, that pissed me off. And there's nothing I can do about it. Big, heavy machine making racket. Oh, you should hear those friggin' processors. And my tree stand is only about 100 yards that way. Yep. So, he kind of ruined my deer hunt, especially for the first couple weeks, which definitely made the deer go away, especially the big bucks. And they changed the patterns and everything. I did see some deer, you know, some smaller deer, but the big deer that I was after, yeah, that was down the tubes. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks a lot, buddy.